Today we're going to illustrate the extreme value theorem. So first we're going to define what is critical point. Let f be a function that is continuous in an open interval I containing x sub 0. We say that x sub 0 is a critical point of f if f, the derivative of f of x is equals to 0 or the derivative of f of x does not exist, that is f as a corner or a cusp at x sub 0 at f of x sub 0. So this is the critical point, the definition of the critical point. So what you're going to do is you're just going to get the derivative of the function and then equate it to 0 to get the critical point. So the extreme value theorem, let f be a function which is continuous on a closed and bounded interval a to b, then the extreme values, the maximum and the minimum of f always exist, and they occur either at the endpoints or at the critical points of f. So according to the extreme value theorem, the extreme values, the maximum and the minimum, either occur on the critical value. So you need to get the critical point first, or the critical value, and then you're going to identify also the endpoints. What is the value of f of x at the endpoint, so that you would know the maximum and the minimum. The maximum is which value would you get the highest value of f of x, and the minimum is the smallest among all the other functional values of the function. So on the given interval. So to illustrate, what we're going to do first is you're going to, example number 1, if f of x is equals to 3x squared minus 3x plus 4 at the interval -1 and 1, we're going to identify the maximum and the minimum using the extreme value theorem. So for us to identify that one, we're going to get first the derivative of the function. So the derivative of 3x squared is copy 3, and then for the x squared, copy 2x, 2 minus 1, it's 1, minus 3, if it is only x, so that's understandable that it's 1. The derivative of x is 1, plus the derivative of a constant is 0. So this is equal to 6x minus 3. So the next thing you're going to do is equate this to 0. So 6x is equal to 3. So divide both sides by 6. X is equals to 1/2. So next after that is we're going to have the table of values. So x and f of x, the values are, the endpoints are -1 and 1. So -1. So is the critical point in between -1 and 1? Yes. Sa gitna ba ang -1 sa gitna ba ng -1 at saka 1 si 1/2? Yes. So if it is not, do not include it in here because the interval is just from -1 to 1. So next thing you're going to do is we're going to get f of -1. F of -1 is equal to 3 -1 squared minus 3 times -1 plus 4, which is equal to, it's better that you're going to use calculator so that it would be easy, but if you could answer this manually if you like. So using calculator, 3 times -1 raised to the power of 2 minus 3 times -1 plus 4 is equal to +4. So this is 4. So next, f of 1/2 is equal to 3 times 1/2 squared minus 3 times 1/2 plus 4. So we're going to change that. So 3 times 1/2 squared minus 3 times 1/2 plus 4 is equal to 13/4. And the last one, f of 1 is equal to 3 times 1 squared minus 3 times 1 plus 4, which is equal to 3 minus 3 plus 4 is equal to +4. to equal to positive 4. So there's maybe mistaken here. I think the number f of negative 1 is mistaken. It should be 10 because 3 times 1 is 3 minus negative 3. It will become positive 3 plus 4. So it will become 3 plus 3 plus 4 is equals to 10. I don't know what happened to the calculator, but it is equal to 10. So the maximum point is, according to the theory, so we're going to pick in here. The maximum point is at negative 110. Why is it negative 110? Because the highest value for f of x is 10, so therefore the maximum is negative 110, and the minimum is at 1 4 because it's in the minimum rather is in 1 half 13 over 4, because 13 over 4 is less than positive 4. So 13 divided by 4 is equal to 3.25. So this is 3.25, which is smaller than 4. So therefore, this is the minimum point. Next, we'll proceed with the number 2. F of x is equals to 2x over x squared plus 2 at the interval negative 1, positive 4. So that's the interval. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get the derivative. The derivative is equal to, copy the denominator, x squared plus 2 times the derivative of 2x is 2, minus, copy the numerator, get the derivative of the denominator, 2x, x squared, the derivative of x squared is 2x plus 2 plus 0 over, just copy the denominator and then squared. This is the quotient rule. So multiply 2x squared plus 4 minus 2x times 2x, 4x squared times 0 is 0. So x squared plus 2 squared. So simplify, it will become negative 2x squared plus 4. 2x squared minus 4x is negative 2x squared, copy 2x, I copy 4 rather, x squared plus 2 squared. So you cannot simplify this further, so we're just going to equate this to 0. Negative 2x squared plus 4 equate to 0 over x squared plus 2 squared. So cross multiply, the denominator will be 0. Letting this as not equal to 0. So negative 2x squared plus 4 is equal to 0. Again, cross multiply this, it will become 0. So this is now the function. So equation rather. So negative 2x squared is equal to negative 4. So divide both sides by negative 2. Cancel. X squared is equal to 2. So square root, cancel. X is equals to square root of 2. So we'll use square root of 2. Is square root of 2 in between negative 1 to 4? Nasa gitna ba siya? So it is. So negative 1, square root of 2, 4. Bakit sa gitna siya? Because the square root of 2 is 1.41. So sa gitna siya ng negative 1 at saka ni 4. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to look for f of x. F of negative 1 first is 2 times negative 1. So substitute lang ang x. Negative 1 squared plus 2 is equal to negative 2 over 1 plus 2, which is negative 2 over 3. So negative 2 third. So f of square root of 2 is equal to 2 times square root of 2 over square root of 2 squared plus 2, which is equal to 2 times square root of 2, it's 2 square root of 2 over square root of 2 squared, that's cancel. So 2 na lang natira, 2 plus 2, 4. So 4, you can simplify this. So square root of 2 over 2. Square root of 2 over 2. So divide by 2. That's 0.71. So 0.71. So for 4, the f of 4 is equal to 2 times 4 over 4 squared plus 2 is equal to 8 over, 16 plus 2, that's 18, which is equal to 4 over 9. So let's check what is 4 over 9. 4 divided by 9, that's 0.44. 4 over 9 or 0.44. So based on our solving solution, the maximum would be at square root of 2 because this is greater than this one, and the minimum is at this one. So the maximum is at square root of 2 over 2, and the minimum is at -1, -2 thirds. Because -2 thirds is less than 0, this one, because this is positive. So that's how you're going to get the maximum and the minimum. Thank you.